Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, whatever it is in the place that you are now situated listening to this podcast, or indeed watching this podcast. And thank you very much for joining us for the continuation of our Stallone series. My name is Dan,
And I'm Frankie.
and
And
we're
I'm
joined
Liam.
by this guy down
Oh,
here. That's Liam.
I thought we weren't doing a fancy thing, so I just jumped in.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was still going to say that, but anyway, all right. Well, let's do that bit again. I'm Dan.
I'm Frankie.
And I'm Liam.
Yay, there we go. We got there in the end. And yeah, so today we are going to be discussing a little movie called Rocky 11, which, oh, hang on. Oh, no, sorry, Rocky 2. It's just stylized as Roman numerals. That's where I get confused. Yeah, Rocky 2, Electric Boogaloo, which is the continuation of
Oh,
Rocky,
wow, you're
which
just, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were
just
just gonna jump straight. I know you love giving a synopsis from Letterboxd, so I thought you were about to jump into that. And I was like, hey, let's just say, like, Liam, how are you? It's been, what, a month?
No, I wasn't actually going to get into the synopsis just yet. I was just saying what we're talking about. But yeah, hey Liam, how's it going? It's it's been a while. You've been
Yeah, it's
keeping
been a
well,
while.
old chum.
Yeah, I've been managing, not getting as many movies in as I would like, but
Mm.
I did see a really good movie recently.
Oh, what was that?
Ooh.
Together, the Dave Franco and Alison
Oh
Brie
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Ah.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Right. Okay.
Is it
Yeah.
is it hard to watch some things on a big cinema screen? I've heard there's some like some of the imagery is a bit like full on in a, a horror way. And I was just like wondering what that was and if it would be a lot seeing it on a massive screen.
I know exactly the scene you're talking about, and it's not the most comfortable of viewings. There are certain things that you don't necessarily want to see have that happen to. But
Hmm.
it was good, you know.
Hmm.
I've seen
I
worse.
have
I saw
not heard
Antichrist and
anything
thought
about it,
that.
so yeah.
Really? I know that it's like full on marketing campaign for this one. Like I've seen so much stuff for it compared to most other movies recently.
Yeah, they did like an advanced screening over here, which they also did with Bring Her Back. I didn't like as much, but this I really did like.
Hmm.
Hmm. I
All
almost
right.
saw it on Friday because I had a half day off work, but um, I had to watch movies to prepare for this. So I needed the
Fair
time, so
enough.
I just went home and watched movies at home instead.
That's still good.
Hmm.
A lot less annoying people around you. Just two annoying cats instead.
No, the cinema I go to if I go on a
Has
Friday half
cats?
day is no, but
Ah,
it's generally not many people in the sessions,
yeah.
which is pretty good.
Well, I
So,
found out one of my local cinemas is actually holding a cat video fest or whatever. Like,
oh yeah, I saw that at
my
one
God,
someone.
like this is
Yeah.
this is this is what I mean about how the movie Idiocracy just keeps coming true. Like we're now actually we have people who are going to pay money to go and watch YouTube cat videos on a big screen. Like, yeah, Anyway, I'm not judging anyone who would do that. Yeah, I am. Who am I kidding? Of course I'm judging. Just stay home, watch them on YouTube. Like, yeah. But anyway,
And I know,
cool.
I can see from Dan wearing a t-shirt, he's in his temperature controlled house, but it's winter here. It's like 10 degrees at the moment. But Liam, I see
It's
you've got short sleeves. You're still enjoying
Still,
summer
yeah,
over there.
still high. It's like we're not in a heat wave currently, which is nice. So I haven't had to like quickly turn my fan off for recording. So it's not like that bad, but it is still, definitely summertime.
I'm
What kind of
curious as
temperatures you getting?
Oh, see, you're gonna say, like ask a question like that, and it's gonna be
Just,
embarrassing because
no, I just mean like you random dailies, like what's the current summer over there?
I'm trying to. It is at the moment about 22, 23.
oh nice.
Oh, that's pretty warm for that time of night.
Oh,
Mm.
that's during the day.
Oh, that's
Currently,
during the
like
day. Oh, okay. I
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
gonna
At
say.
night, like right now, it's 15,
Okay.
so it's not too bad.
Yeah. It's warmer than
I'm
here.
very curious as to what you meant by temperature controlled house. Like,
Well, I just mean you obviously like what's going on if you're wearing a t-shirt when it's 10 degrees? You
it's not,
haven't
it's
got like,
11. Um, I don't know.
or
I
you
got,
just have like New Zealand body where you just 10 degrees is t-shirt weather for you.
yeah,
Whereas
well,
I've
I've got,
acclimatized since I moved here and
I have,
now I'm like
you
10
got to keep in
degrees, I
mind,
need
I
to
have
keep warm.
European blood coursing through my veins. I have Danish and
Yeah, but I
German
just told
blood.
you, I grew up in New Zealand and I had, you know, I came here acclimatized to the stupid summers we have here. And then I
Hmm.
went back in March. There was a day that was 10 degrees. I was cold and
Hmm.
my friends were laughing at me.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I considered putting on a hoodie or something, but then I thought, oh, you know what? I'm probably going to get hot, especially because I'm sitting here with that giant thing. And like, see this
Mm.
brightness? Like, it's just my hand is gone. Because it's getting burnt off.
Also, as
Yeah.
my house does hold the cold and I'm like in the middle of it, so I don't have sun shining, pouring through the windows.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's quite warm in here in the morning, so yeah. Well, I guess in that way it's temperature controlled, but by nature, because I don't have any other like, heating or air conditioning or anything like that going on. Yeah, but no, look, I'm good.
Mm.
Yeah,
Tell
it's
you what,
little.
15 to 22 is pretty, that's like in the comfort zone. I
Mm,
always think sort of 10 to 20 is the best range, and people think I'm weird, but I'm like, this fine. Especially here with humidity, like you don't need to go that
Yeah.
high in numbers. Whereas when I was in New Zealand, you get up to the late 20s and that would be like full on weather, but you didn't have the humidity there, so it didn't feel like here.
to be fair,
Yeah.
that's not the main reason people think you're weird, but
Oh.
that's a conversation for other people. Like, I'm not gonna get into that right now, but yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
Oh
guys,
dear.
guess what came in the mail this week?
Your face. Oh, there we
Ooh.
go. It's
I
Mr.
my
That's
Stallone.
nice.
It's Marion.
4K of Cobra has
Wow.
Very
arrived.
nice. I
Marion
need to pick that
Cobretti.
up still.
So
I
I'm
need to rewatch that. I watched it way, way, way back, not long after it came out. I think I saw it on TV one night or something, and I I didn't really find it that great. Like I don't
Thanks for
know.
your input. I'm just
No,
gonna
it's all right.
keep excited. I
No, but I'm
haven't
saying
watched it
I need
yet
to
since
rewatch
this
it because I
came.
think I'll probably enjoy it more if I watch it again now.
Yeah, I watched it a couple of years ago and was pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood or something, I don't think, because from everything I've heard about it since then, like I keep thinking to myself, I probably would enjoy it if I watched it again, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'll check it out
Yeah,
one day.
I haven't had a chance
Well,
to rewatch it yet, but I'm looking forward to it
we'll get to
Yay!
because
it,
I
won't we?
liked it a lot the first time.
Going through the Stallone films. That'll be on the list eventually, won't it?
Mm. Yeah,
Well,
although I don't know because I was reading something somewhere in Dan's talk
oh,
of the podcast, and he said it was the series where we look at Rocky and Rambo movies. But I would like
Okay.
to expand it to all movies.
well, I don't know if we're going to do all his movies. I mean, that's a lot of movies.
Mm.
Yeah, but we'll see. I was thinking though, because we're still trying to think of an official title for this Stallone series, and I was talking to Chat GPT, and it came up with
Oh
the Stallone Zone, and I was like, oh my God, like that's freaking amazing! And I put it to Frankie, and she was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
no,
Except there's
no.
already a Stallone Zone out there.
Yeah, as soon as he said Chat GPT told me this, I was like, here we go. So I Googled it and I'm like, yeah, it exists. That's
Of
why
course it
Chat
does.
GPT told you about it.
Yeah.
Then my own brain thought about it. Was it last night, I think? And what about Stalloneathon? Is that something that could work or
But that sounds like it doesn't sound like a spread out series. It sounds like a
Like back to
marathon.
back.
Yeah.
But people
mm,
could choose to listen to the podcast in that way once it's all finished.
that's a good point.
Yeah, when it's
Yeah.
done, you could put them all together and
In a
release a
playlist,
super
like
Yeah.
episode.
Stalloneathon 2000. Here we go. Yeah, Adrian. Yeah, or something. I don't know. Anyway. But well, yeah. I don't know. How about we get stuck into Rocky 2 Electric Boogaloo? Shall we do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So this movie is a from 1979, which was written and directed by Sylvester Stallone because this time around he wanted to take control of the film and stuff. So and it is a direct continuation from the first one. You could splice the
It's
two
not
films
not even
together.
direct because they repeat the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, you got the first
Yeah.
5 minutes, which basically is like the end of the
Last
last
five
film, and it's
minutes.
like,
Which
Yeah.
they cut out one of
really?
the
Like,
best
do we?
bits. Like when he gets his eye sliced and the blood sort of gushes out, they cut that out of the little
Yeah,
recap.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
That was a shame.
It was a shame, but I don't know. 5 minutes is a little bit much. Like, I even had a look at the time, like after it had
So did
finally got
I. I
into it.
paused it because I'm
Yeah, I'm
like,
like,
how
how
long
long has
have
this
we
been
been
going? It's
watching?
like, really, 5 minutes? Wow, that's dedication. Um,
But it makes
because
sense considering the time it came out, right? Where people necessarily wouldn't have access to like, oh, I can just watch Rocky the night before on DVD. Like
Yeah.
they maybe wouldn't have seen it since they saw it in the cinema, what, two
Actually,
years
that
prior,
is a
3 years
very
prior?
good point. Yeah, yeah, no, that's yeah, absolutely. So yeah, direct continuation. And so after Rocky goes the distance with Champ Apollo Creed, both try to put the fight behind them and move on. Rocky settles down with Adrian, but can't put his life together outside the ring, while Creed seeks a rematch to restore his reputation. Soon enough, the Master of Disaster and the Italian Stallion are set on a collision course for a climactic battle that is brutal and unforgettable. Wow. Reading that, I would go into this thinking, holy shit, this is going to be the greatest movie I've ever seen. It wasn't. I, yeah. I, yeah, I was very underwhelmed by this movie, I got to admit. I had seen it once before, but it was so long ago I did not remember anything about it. So it was almost like a first time watch for me. But yeah, far out. Nothing on the first one for me. What did you guys think?
Oh wow, you're
Well,
done?
Excuse me?
You were just like nothing from me. What did you think? Like you've just finished talking about it for
you
good.
also look like you're currently
I
the
haven't
chosen
finished
one.
talking about it. I've got heaps
Yeah.
more to say.
Well, you just said I'm
Well,
done.
well, I'm
I
really
got
For
curious
nothing more
now.
to it.
what
No,
I'm really
for
curious what Frankie has
now.
to say about this one because I know Frankie in the last one, right? You were saying that you really liked the love story angle to it, and it
Yeah.
felt like with this one, it started very strong, leaning into that element.
Yeah, the proposal scene was great. And
Okay.
also the fact they filmed on locations, and I like
Yeah.
that. So you can see their breath because they're actually cold. So
Mm.
Yeah.
I do like that in movies. But yeah, I just thought that scene was pretty cute. And then, yeah, there was actually, because I couldn't remember much from my first watch. And all I had was my review, which I didn't really say anything, except it took me longer to get into it. And it picked up in the second half, especially the fight at the end. But I don't know if I just maybe felt a little bit more connected to it this time because I have watched all the movies now and I know the characters.
Yeah.
And then coming back to it now is a bit different. I still think it's um, definitely nowhere near as good as the first film. But yeah, I actually I liked it more than I expected from
Oh, I can't see
my
myself.
memory of my thoughts because I didn't really remember the
Interesting.
movie specifically.
Hmm.
Yeah. See, I liked it a little less than I was expecting, but again, I
Eh.
I only really remember the end. Uh,
Yeah, that's like the main sort of
yeah.
part of the movie, really.
Yeah, so I
Hmm.
got like a little bit frustrated with this one because I also checked the time, but not after the recap, about an hour in when I was
Yeah.
like, oh, we're finally getting going.
Yeah.
And
That's about the
it,
time I checked as well. It was about an hour. Like, yeah, because I was bored.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
anyway.
was surprised that it took so long to get to like the training
which it
and
was, it's
even
Hmm.
odd,
when
right?
it got
Because,
to the fight, like, he was not really interested in it at the beginning, like
yeah.
interested in training again and everything.
Well, that's the bit that I found really frustrating because it's inevitable, right, that we're going to end up with him fighting again. So
Mm.
you spend like the first hour just being like, get to the bit where you agree to fight, please.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then he gets there, but then you have this like annoying 15 minutes where his heart isn't really in it, and then
Mm,
Adrian just slips into a coma, and
And then once she comes out, she's magically changed her mind and she wants him to fight and
mm,
win.
yeah, and then it's like the movie almost has permission to start.
Yeah.
mm. Yeah, I just thought this whole movie just felt like a whole bunch of filler, and it sort of felt like just, nothing that different from the first film. I thought the whole coma subplot was just completely unnecessary. And the
Yeah,
one thing that bugged me more than anything in this film, so Rocky and Adrian have a baby, and then he just fucking forgets about the baby for several days, and then finally they bring the baby in to meet them once Adrian's out of the coma, and it's like, dude, you had a
yeah,
baby. Like,
yeah.
you don't, because angry. Anyway, after the film had finished, I was like, was that my imagination, or did several days go by where it was just forgotten about? And like, I went back to that scene and kind of fast forwarded
Yeah.
through, and like, you know, there's scenes where he goes to a church and talks to a priest or whatever, and then there's these other
No.
scenes that happen, like back to
Yeah.
the hospital, visiting
Yeah.
Adrian, like there's, but it happened over a few days, and like, yeah, I just
Well,
can't
he
really
has that
imagine
thing,
having
right?
a baby who, incidentally, that baby was actually Sylvester Stallone's son
And
in
I
real life.
remember thinking it the first time, like I've never seen a newborn baby with that much hair.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot
that
of
baby
hair.
had so much hair. I know, like
Yeah.
practically had like a Rambo style mullet. Um, but yeah, oh, that
But
irked
yeah,
me.
I
That
wondered
actually
about
really
that and I'm
bugged
like,
me.
but why does he not care? And then he says, I didn't want to meet him without you to when Adrian wakes up.
Oh,
But I'm
yeah,
like, what
but
if she didn't
bullshit.
wake
Like,
up for months?
yeah,
Like, is it just
exactly.
But
Like,
also
yeah, it's like,
that
oh, the
just
kid's 5 years old. I get to finally meet him. Like, fuck.
but that just feels
Yeah.
like bad parenting as well. To be like, well, if we
Mm.
can't do it together, I'm checked out. It's like, well, that's not really how
Nah,
parenting works.
that's yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, speaking from experience, that's the thing. Like actually having been through this situation, like, I just can't imagine, fathering a kid and then just like spending a few days like, "Hey, the kid's in the hospital, he's fine." That's a very bad impression, but I
Yeah.
don't care. It's
Well,
it's
you also
well,
don't
it's
even
kind of
need
like
to
a
have a
South
kid
Park
to
version of it.
realize
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's just
So
weird.
that really bugged me a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I
And I don't
felt
really
the
understand
whole
why Mickey
script
wanted
wasn't
to
that
sit
great.
there day after day in
Yeah,
silence.
there was a lot of things in this movie that just didn't land for me. And to be honest, even by the time it got to the big climactic battle of Titans at the end, I was just kind of like, it's like we've seen these two fight. I don't know. I also kind of now.
See,
Is it just my imagination, or Apollo Creed at the end of the first one? Like, he was a lot nicer, wasn't he? Or am I remembering it wrong? But wasn't he all like, Rocky, hey, good job, good game, bro?
well, yeah, but
Um,
then he gets all the hate
it just
mail from
suddenly,
fans,
Yeah.
and so it's
yeah, I
hitting
don't
in his
know.
ego.
Yeah, it just seemed like a big character shift for him.
But I mean, obviously
Yeah, because I kind of
yeah,
liked him in the first
well,
one.
yeah, but I mean, he's getting the hate mail, so he wants to have another
Yeah,
match. And then
brush it
obviously
off.
in public, he's playing, but that's the whole thing of that world. It's like wrestlers, isn't it? Where they
Yeah.
got to talk up and say crap to the
Yeah,
opponent and
I did
stuff.
love the television interview where Rocky and Creed are sitting side by side or whatever, and
That's a
Creed's
great
all like
scene.
getting fired up and angry, and Rocky's just kind of taking it as a joke. Like, I did like that a lot. I liked that. Yeah, like I mean, Rocky was still a likable character. He still walks with that swagger, and he's still got his bouncy ball and everything. Like,
Well, yeah, there was
um,
still all that cute stuff with Adrian at
he's
the
still a
start, and I
dumbass.
I noticed
Yeah.
that he said at one stage, because she was saying how fast it went that they like them getting married, and he said that he knew straight away, even though she
Hmm.
suffers from the disease of shyness, and I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it.
Hmm. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I also there were other things as well. I only found out. So apparently, that the training scene where he's running through the streets and like 60,000 kids are suddenly following him. Apparently, that wasn't actually staged. Apparently, that just sort of happened like during filming. A whole bunch of kids actually started coming along and running and stuff. But I don't know. I sort of thought that just looked way too cartoonish. Like that was too many kids for that scene.
Wow, you
Yeah.
really, I'm noticing a trend in movies that you seem to like pick a scene that's just too over the top for you
Hmm.
and like
Over the top, Stallone reference.
but yeah, that you just pick one scene and just go, oh, that was too much. And you can't just like
Not all
enjoy
movies. I mean,
it.
there's a lot of movies where there are scenes
I
that
know, but I mean you've just
but
mentioned a
usually I
few
can just kind of
lately,
get
like
past them. But
yeah.
when it's, I don't know, sometimes if it's something that like is so extreme that it's kind of like, oh wow,
I
that's
don't know, I just got into the vibe of, he's like their town hero and this
yeah,
Rocky. So
Yeah, I had no
yeah,
issues with like the training montage. Like as soon as that all kicks in, I was there invested again. But
yeah, I was
mm.
like, now we're going, and it's what, like half an hour left of the movie
Yeah.
or
yeah,
See, by
something
that
by
exactly.
point, I
then.
was kind of too bored to really care. Yeah, this was a movie where there were several moments where I was kind of like checking messages on my phone and stuff
Mm.
throughout. I was like, oh wow, it's still going. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a terrible film for me, but
Really?
yeah, yeah,
Well, okay, so
there were
I'm
a couple
curious.
of things I liked, I
I'm
think.
curious if either of you felt this, but to me, it almost felt like someone writing fan fiction for the first
Mm.
film of like, okay, if I was to kind
Mm.
of
Yeah,
do the
yeah,
first film
yeah.
my way, how would I want it to end? And
Mm.
this film feels like it's stripped away a lot of the nuance of the first one. So like him being that kind of local hero, you kind of get glimpses of that in the first one, but almost like a street level where
Mm.
Mm.
he knows the people around and they know him.
Mm.
And this one, it's kind of just notched up a little bit, where it becomes a little bit cartoonish almost, and that
Mm.
seemed to be a bit of a running trend throughout it,
I
where it's
wonder
like,
if that's because the first film did so big. They're like, hey, write us a sequel. And he didn't really have huge ideas, so he just kind of
Oh,
went
clearly.
with that.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I think that's 100% what happened with this film. Yeah. Uh, hmm. I don't know if that was a good thing though. Yeah. Anyway, what else?
I did
And
really
that's the end of
like,
the episode. No, just kidding.
no, I did really like the relationship between Rocky and Mickey and how that's
Mm,
kind of
Mm.
evolved in this one. I did
mm,
think it was a bit odd that it starts off with this whole thing where it's like you have to protect your eye, like your eye is fucked and you're going to go blind if you don't
Mm.
protect it.
mm.
And he learns like a whole new way of fighting to protect it, and then still just gets his face absolutely smashed to
Yeah.
pieces. And at no point are they like, "How's the eye?" Like it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
seems to
yeah.
become a non-issue by the end.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. I did notice that. I was like looking at how puffy his eyes were, and I'm like, yeah, that's your bad eye. That's looking pretty puffy. And yeah, I
Yeah.
actually found the fight a bit, I don't know if it was my mood. Compared to the first film, it was a bit more like hard to watch because they're just getting punched so many times. And I'm
Like
just like,
because of
that
the
that was,
violence.
yeah, it was just like, again, that thing in my mind of why are people into boxing? They're being like punched in the face like 20 times, and that's just
Mm.
like one round. And I'm like, how does he
And
keep going?
Stallone actually did tell Carl Weathers to let loose in this film, and he actually took like several punches and wound up with a bruised rib and a swollen jaw and stuff. Like he
Mm,
actually, because I mean, you could see, especially in a couple of moments where it was a slow-mo, that those punches were real. Like Stallone's
Yeah.
face was doing that wobbly
mm.
thing after getting a smack to it. So yeah,
Yeah, this
there
movie
was
does like a slow-mo shot as well. There was a
yeah, yeah,
number of
yeah.
them throughout the
Yeah.
film, not just in
Um,
the fight.
so there was actually like yeah, quite a few moments where Weathers did actually punch him, which was interesting. But did you know that originally, in earlier drafts of the script, Rocky was going to die?
I did not know that.
Ah, well, there you go.
Mm.
Yeah, so Sylvester Stallone drafted it that Rocky was going to die in the ring during the fight or whatever, but the studio executives, of course, were like, "Well, no, we're not doing that because then there won't be a Rocky 3." So yeah, they changed the ending for that. So
That would have
yeah,
been such
he
a
was.
like depressing ending if that's how they'd have
Yeah.
Oh,
ended it.
wouldn't
Like he's just had a
it?
kid, now he's dead.
Hmm. Well, yeah, a kid that he'd met for 5 minutes. I mean, but
Well,
anyway,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, but think of the kid has no
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah, 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 exactly. That would just be
Again,
terrible.
be just like
Yeah,
his
yeah,
first 5 days of life.
yeah, 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 exactly. It's got no parents at all. Yeah, wow. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like, I saw this movie was rated quite highly amongst, well, not quite. Well, yeah, like I mean, it's mostly got 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, but
That does seem quite high.
yeah, I really think so. I mean, the overall average is 3.8. Yeah, but I don't know. I gave it 2.5, and I'm even thinking to myself, does it really deserve that extra half star? But
Yeah, you seem
uh,
pretty down on it, so
I
I'm
am like,
surprised.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, I
but what
got to the end of it,
about
I was
what
like,
about
look, it wasn't terrible, it wasn't great, it's just in the middle for me. But I mean, it's still got Butt Kiss in it. Like Butt Kiss the dog was amazing. I love his bath scene. That was fun. Um,
And you had
yeah.
was it Cuff and Link? They were in it as well.
What was
mm,
that? Sorry.
Cuff and Link,
What's that?
the little turtles,
turtles?
tortoises, terrapins,
Oh,
whatever
right.
they
I
are.
didn't know they had names.
He
Yeah.
does.
Well,
Maybe that was when you were checking your phone. He does use their names in
Yeah.
it.
oh, does he? Wow. Yeah. I
Yeah.
probably was looking at messages or porn or something. I mean, what? Yeah. But no, I did not know that they had names. So there you go. That's cool. Yeah. But
And then we
anyway.
have those weird scenes where he's roped in to do commercials
Oh
for
yeah.
like the
Oh.
Beast aftershave.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, like those scenes I thought were entertaining
Hmm.
in a really awkward way though. It's like
Yeah.
this poor guy who's like clearly dyslexic and can't read and stuff, and they're, making an absolute mockery of him. I did understand the director's frustration though, because yeah, I can imagine,
Mm.
like, especially if you're rolling film, which is costing so much money, and you've got this absolute idiot who can't read, like, yeah, it would be kind of frustrating. I didn't actually think, because, he's a little like, they're saying the director was being rude and stuff. I didn't really think he was being that rude, to be honest. I was kind of leaning towards the being on the director's side for that scene a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. But they
Yeah, I
were
guess it depends if you
entertaining.
think people yelling at you is rude.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
But he wasn't. I thought he could be a lot ruder. Like I think that's the point that I'm trying to make. Like, yeah.
So it's okay to be rude as long as you're not being ruder.
Exactly. As long as you just don't cross that line. Like, yeah, like yell at people as much as you want, just don't use profanity
Okay.
or racial slurs or anything
I
like that.
I will think twice if you ever ask me to act in something that you do.
Actually, there's a thought. I do have a music video shoot coming up, and we're going to need an
Oh,
actress.
yeah. I no, I can't act.
You washing your hair that day?
Yeah.
Damn it. Fair enough. Yeah, but no, those scenes were yeah, interesting. I did love how when they switched to from the caveman stuff or whatever to the boxing ring, he's just got that really bad looking prosthetic on his face. I'm just kind of thinking to
Yeah.
myself, even if he was really good at delivering those lines and everything, like, yeah, that's going to be a shitty ad campaign because like, that just looked terrible. Um,
Surely, bruising and that kind of stuff would be pretty simple to do with makeup.
well, you'd think so.
Like you
Like, at
wouldn't even
least
need
blend the
fancy
edges, like,
things. You could,
because
just get some red eyeshadow and purple
yeah, but
and
even
whatever.
like it was the skin tone of the prosthetic didn't match
Mm.
his, and there was like
Yeah.
obvious edges around it and stuff, and it's just sort of like, man, I'm not even a makeup artist, and even I can tell you could just like blend it
I
with
did think
latex
it
or
was
whatever.
funny that that is also kind of how his face looked at the end of the fight. Like, not
Hmm.
a bad thing, but the coloring and
Yeah.
stuff, but
Yeah.
done properly, so it actually looked real.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I don't.
Although I
Well,
guess
yeah.
part of it was real after what you said. So,
Well, yeah, exactly. Actually, that was one thing as well. I thought in the very first scene, after he's just come away from his first fight with Creed, like I, I thought his makeup looked a bit weird on his. It didn't really look like, he'd been like pummeled to oblivion, and it was like natural swelling or whatever. It sort of had like all these ridges and stuff. It almost looked like they were trying to make him appear as an alien or something.
I did not
Yeah,
notice that.
No, I
I did
didn't.
notice that. I kind of thought he looks more like his face has been branded with something rather than punched. But yeah, but at the time I was just like, that's just being nitpicky. I'm sure this is going to be a great film. And then I got to the end of it and I was like, remember that shit makeup at the start? Yeah, I didn't like this movie.
Well, I'm curious to see how the rest of this franchise watch goes, like
Oh
until
yeah,
we
because they
get to
don't
the
get
end with the
better,
good
do
ones.
they?
They
Well,
do,
yeah.
but you've got a
Um,
few movies before they get high again.
yeah. I think I'm dropping this half a star. Like, honestly, yeah, it was not a good film.
Well, you just said
I
you didn't like the movie, so yeah, I
Yeah, I know.
mean,
That was the moment that I was like, you know what? It doesn't deserve 2.5. I'm gonna rethink my life choices right now. Yeah.
oh,
So
actually, I gave Rocky 3 a higher score than 2,
yeah,
even
there we
though
go. Dropped it to 2 stars. Yeah, that's what you're
I
getting, bitch.
do not like, well, I did not like Clubber Lang. We'll see if I hate him as
Oh,
much
but it's
this time
Mr.
around.
T.
Yeah, but that
Oh.
doesn't matter.
No, no, no. I've got the perfect thing for when we discuss that film. I have a book by Mr. T called Be Somebody or Be Somebody's Fool. And it's basically like a life guide by Mr. T. And it's the
Okay, so you
most
can
So,
share
incredible
some
book.
thoughts.
yeah, are we gonna
Oh
get like a
man,
reading?
yeah. What's that, Liam?
Are we gonna get a reading from that book
We're
delivered
gonna get
by
several
you?
readings from that book, like
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
throughout
yes.
that episode. So yeah, no, it's an amazing
Well,
book.
there we go. You got something to look forward to after this
I do. Can we
episode
record it
where
this
you...
afternoon? No, just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of running out of things to say about Rocky 11, to be honest. But yeah, what do you guys got?
Well, Frankie, I'm curious for you, right? Like that first hour, we had the proposal scene, the zoo scene. Did it feel to you like they kind of went love story tick, we're done, and then we're moving on to like him kind of dealing with fame, or did you feel like there was still that as a running theme kind of throughout?
Well, no, because then it was like house hunting, pregnancy. It was
Spending lots of
just,
money.
it was just like into married life, which was less of a romance, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it was just the whole, he wants to fight, she said, but you told me you wouldn't fight. And then, you know, then his line about, I've never asked you to stop being a woman. Why are you asking me to stop being a man? And
That's
so,
that's a
Oh dear.
strange line, right? Because it's kind of
yeah.
like conflating being a man with being a boxer.
Hmm. Because he
I've never
didn't seem
boxed.
like he was upset that he wasn't working when she said she'd go back part-time at the pet store. But he was
Yeah.
just like, are you sure you want to do that? And so it seemed quite like, he's upset that he's not making the money, but he's okay with her doing it instead of telling her not to. But then that
Hmm.
line comes later about not being a man and whatever. And I'm just like, I'm not sure how he feels about the whole situation. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the doctor is pretty harsh too when she is in hospital and the doctor's just like, oh, this happened because of overwork and strain.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so I'm just like,
Which,
wow, guilt tripping doctor.
but there's like a few kind of elements to this that feels like they could have been picked up on and become character beats that weren't. Like we didn't
Mm.
see any of Rocky dealing with like any kind of guilt over that in particular.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because
And
I
I,
thought
I
that when it happened, but yeah, then it was just like the coma days, and then she was awake and everything was fine, and we're off to training. So
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's it. I'm dropping
um,
it another half star. Here we go. No, just kidding. Actually, by the time we get to the end of this podcast, it's gonna be like, well, I gave it half a star, but only because I had to. Yeah.
I do think it's a shame, and it is a trend that hasn't really gone away, where she's the one that's like stopping him from becoming the fighter. So
Mm,
as like an audience member who wants to see the boxing, it
Mm,
kind of pits you against her, which is
mm,
weird after the first film spent so long kind of getting you almost like on her side.
mm.
mm,
So that was, I don't know, I don't know if it was bad writing necessarily, but it
hmm.
felt like a lazy character choice to be like,
Oh
well,
yeah.
she's going to be the reason why he can't fight. When I
Mm,
think
Mm.
the eye thing would have been a valid reason for him to be like, this is probably a good reason to not do it
mm, yeah.
without
Yeah, well,
her
he
necessarily.
mentions his eye at one stage. So,
Yeah.
he
Mm,
knows that's the thing, but he still, I guess, changes his mind because he can't get an office job.
mm.
Yeah, I liked that scene where he was interviewing in a suit that did not look appropriate to be interviewing
No,
in.
but I loved it. Good old
It was
powder
a
blue
fantastic
suit.
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can tell we're in the 70s.
Oh, very
Yeah.
much so.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think over time, like over movies and just seeing stuff, I really quite like Apollo Creed. So
Mm,
I don't know, I just feel on board with all his shit talking stuff. Like I didn't feel like I was against that character from the first
mm.
film or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I feel like it was just like showmanship stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. If
But
anything, I
that
wanted to
was
see more of his home life because we get a little glimpse of it
Mm,
in the first one, another little glimpse
mm,
here. I
mm.
really like the scene where he's getting the hate mail and it's like, before the day of internet trolls, just
mm.
it
Yeah.
is arriving as a physical thing that he is having to interact with and
And he even
how
got
that
them from
is.
overseas. Just
Yeah,
like people that cared enough to pay to send a letter.
exactly.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
something
yeah.
about that that is just I found that a really interesting sort of element to his character.
Hmm. Yeah. I like how the scene where after Rocky's like had his massive spending spree and he's bought his black Trans Am and stuff, and then when he's kind of like getting down and on life and everything, he's got to sell the car, and I love how he just like goes up to Paulie and is like, hey Paulie, you want to buy the car? And Paulie's like, yeah, it's a good car. He's like, okay, you bought the car, like just gives him the keys and walks away. It's like, fucking seriously? Like that wow, that just happened very quickly. Like
Yeah.
yeah, amazing. Um yeah. I know that was another writing choice I thought was maybe a little questionable, but yeah.
I do
I
find it interesting, Paulie's look in this movie, um,
mm,
in his suits and stuff, and
It's
looking
Al Capone.
fancy.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was
I
still an
was
Creasy
gonna
asshole
Al
though.
say,
Capone.
yeah. I
Just
know, but I'm just
Yeah, I
enjoying the
don't like him.
fashion.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he goes into
You know
the
who I
pet
do
shop and
like, who's
confronts his
like,
sister and just like smacks the thing of seeds out of her hands and everything. It's just like, fuck, dude, like calm down, man. Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, he was a piece of shit. But anyway,
Yeah.
But the
yeah.
boss guy, debt collector, is
Yeah,
it that
Joe
the
Spinelli.
yeah, I like that he was back for
Yeah.
Mm,
like
10
two
seconds.
half scenes. Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, I enjoyed it. And the crowd shots, because he's of course at the fight supporting, being on
Mm,
Yeah,
Rocky's
but he
side. And
also sets up, I think, the best joke in the movie,
mm,
which is him saying to Rocky, do you want to come in on like is it condominiums
oh
or something
yeah,
like that?
mm.
Yeah.
condominiums,
Condominiums? That's it,
I think.
condominiums.
Yeah.
And Rocky's just like, I never use them. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is a great. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
better than
yeah.
his joke about why do bulls have
Why do
bells?
cows
The
have
horns don't
bells?
work.
Yeah,
That's
which
it.
Mm.
I misheard it when he said that the first time. I thought he said belts. Like, why do cows have belts? And I'm like, and then he goes, because their horns don't work. And I'm like, What? Hang on. And
What?
so
I
I
heard that as
actually,
well, and so I didn't get the joke. And then the
right.
movie moved on, so I'm like, oh, I'm not going
Yeah.
to think about it
Well, no,
anymore.
I was like, no, 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 hang on. I need to understand this joke. And so I actually like while the movie's playing, fuck it. Like I got on my phone, I was like, I started typing why do cows and then it said have bells. I was like, oh, cow, yeah, okay, that makes a
Yeah.
lot more sense than belts. So yeah, that yeah, good joke. Yeah.
Yeah, because I liked that condominiums one because when he said that, I'm like, wait, did he mean that? And it was kind
Yeah.
of, it wasn't super obvious, but
Yeah.
it was a fun one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
liked it.
that was cool. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, what else you guys got?
I think I've covered everything I noted. Oh, except I did like the return to of the singing guys on the street.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
like the whole sort of neighborhood thing. I like that
Hmm.
in movies where people just know each other in the neighborhoods.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
I liked that
Yep.
bit. It was a shame that if do you remember in the first one he walks home that girl who's hanging out
Mm.
with all the
Hmm.
boys and he has a little like chat with her. It's a shame that never gets revisited in this one because I would have liked to have
Hmm.
seen like what's
Mm.
the next step of that character's journey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Um, yeah, that's actually yeah, one of the things like I mean the first one, yeah, I remember, so much of it, not just because we watched it not that long ago, but I find, a lot of the scenes in that film are really going to stick with me. Whereas this one,
Yeah.
I know Letterboxd says that it's brutal and unforgettable, but yeah, I don't know. I've got a feeling that, say this time next year or whatever, be like, what actually happened in Rocky 2 again? Oh, that's right, he had a kid and forgot about it.
I
Yeah.
do know that the fight at the end is when it gets interesting, or like the actual training starting going into the
Hmm.
fight. But I do think the fight is, even though it's the most exciting part of the movie, it's not an exciting fight. Like it's
Oh,
not like the
absolutely.
first film, like the
Yeah.
fight,
Hmm.
you could really get into it. And this one I just
Yeah.
didn't. This one, I don't know if it was how it was choreographed, and that's why I just noticed it's just like a million punches. And
Hmm.
I don't
I
know
thought
what
there
the
were more
difference
stakes
was,
in the
but I
first one
just,
as well. Like, Rocky was like really had something to prove in the first one, whereas this time round he was just
well, this time
kind
it was
of
Creed who had something to
there
prove.
because Creed
Yeah.
called him out, and so and his wife was like, do it, and it's like, oh, fuck, really? So yeah, I don't know. There wasn't really much at stake for me. Like, yeah, just anyway,
So, okay, would this film have
drop it
worked
another
better
half
than
star. Here we go. No,
if it was from Creed's perspective?
sorry, say again.
That might have been a lot more interesting based on the little snippets we got of him at home and with
Well,
his
Yeah.
I
guys in the
missed
office.
I
I
missed the
was saying,
question.
would this film work better if it had been
Mm.
from Creed's perspective? Because, like Frankie said, the stakes
Oh
are more
yeah.
for Creed than Rocky.
Mm. Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that would have been a much more interesting film because I kind of felt Creed's character had more dramatic conflict going on and stuff, whereas Rocky was just kind of going through the motions of, you know, yeah. So yeah, no, absolutely. 100% it would have been a much better film.
Yeah, like
Um,
another
yeah.
character beat that they kind of lay down but then don't pick back up is right at the beginning when they're in the hospital and Rocky goes to visit Creed and he's like, "Did you give it your
Mm,
all?" And Creed
Mm.
mm.
was like, "Yeah, I did." But we know from watching the first one that he really didn't.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird that like when they're doing the sort of like smack talk to each other,
Mm,
that's never brought back up because I could have seen that
mm.
getting in Rocky's head a bit.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's a good point. Um, yeah. Yeah, this script could have been so much better. I mean, like I thought in terms of the performances, cinematography, and all of those sort of things, it was fine.
Mm.
But yeah, I just think the script was like the thing that really let it down a lot. But
What did you think
yeah.
of Stallone's directing?
It was fine. Yeah. that was fine. I don't know. I mean, like I said, the performances were all really good. So, that's obviously like comes down to the director. So, yeah, and yeah,
Well, hang on, does it? Because a lot of the performances are just picking up from the first one.
mm, yeah, that's true. But yeah, they they weren't bad though. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm trying to find good things to say for a change. No. Yeah. Anyway, got anything else? Anyone?
But yeah, one other
I don't
thing.
think so.
I
Yeah.
have one
Yeah.
other thing. How did we feel about the very end where you have the slow-mo shot of them both falling down and then the climactic counting to 10 as they're both struggling on the ropes to
Well,
I
I was
did like
stand
confused
that
up?
because
because I
I
couldn't
didn't.
remember the fight from the first time I watched the film. So it felt like watching it for the first time. And I admit that did kind of get me like, who's going to
See, I
get up? Are
was.
they both going to get up?
I don't know the rules of boxing, so I was just confused. I was kind of like, okay, so he's trying to get up, like, and it wasn't until sort of the end where Creed falls down and Rocky's standing and assuring him that he's fine. I was like, oh, okay, right, I get it. Like, yeah, cool.
Well, yeah, I know enough
Um,
to know that if you are down and the other person's up. So I knew it was like,
yeah,
are they both going to be able to stand up? Because I assume if they
Yeah.
both got up, then it would be
You'd continue
at the
fighting, right?
points, yeah, continue, and it would be a points thing if they both made it
Yeah.
to the end of the round. So
right,
then Creed would have won again
Well, I
because
think
they
that it
because
stayed
they
down.
ah,
mentioned that he had the points from the
Yeah.
yeah,
rounds.
right, yeah, okay. So yeah, so
But I couldn't remember if, there was like one more final thing to get him down or whether it was
mm,
just
Yeah.
that he couldn't get up. So
mm,
yeah, I
yeah.
kind of had that thing of I don't mind so much sometimes that my memory is pretty bad for random movies because then when I watch them again, I'm like, oh, I don't remember how this turned out. Or sometimes like with the horror movie or something, I'll be like, I don't remember who the killer is. And so
Yeah.
Mm,
yeah, it kind of makes it fun.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, let me ask you both this. Do you think
Yes.
Rocky deserved to win that fight?
It seems, yeah, I don't know, like it seems weird that he did so little training seemingly to just
Mm,
take out the world champion. And I know like the last one,
mm.
and that it went the full like number of rounds again. So like I can't imagine sitting through so many rounds at a boxing thing. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel it feels weird that for how Creed is and that he's the world champion. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm,
Yeah. Well, it does feel like from what we see at the fight as well, Creed does seem to be dominating most of it. Just
Mm.
Rocky just seems to not fall down. It's the only thing that's going for him.
mm.
Mhm.
That doesn't seem
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
enough to
yeah.
then beat the world champion in the final round.
Yeah. I also, it's kind of a bit convenient that it makes it to the final round again. So it's that whole,
There was a
it's now
lot
or
of
never.
convenient things in
Yeah.
this film. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like the script was not great. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But yeah, anyway,
I think that's a big swing though. Like, oh, Adrian doesn't want him to fight. How do we get around this? Oh, let's just put her in a coma and then
right?
she can change
Yeah,
her
Yeah.
mind when she wakes up.
yeah. Yeah. Look, dropping another half star. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No, I'll stick with two. Like it had there were it wasn't, unwatchable or anything by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
Was
yeah.
anyone else expecting her to like defy the doctor's orders? Because they make the big point about his house only being 10 minutes away. And I did wonder, would there be a point where she'd be like, no, I have to go and be ringside?
Oh, I
Or
never
was that
thought
just
about
Mm.
me?
that. That's just
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like your brain was like,
She
I want
was
to
pretty
invent
in
things because I'm bored.
she was pretty into the fight too. Like
She was, yeah.
she seemed more
Hmm.
into him winning than being especially worried about how beat up he was getting.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
that coma really changed her.
I mean,
Yeah.
apparently comas can have that effect on people, right?
Mm.
Like there are
Yeah.
stories that people wake up out of comas and can speak a new language.
Mm. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Um, yeah. Anyway, all right. Got anything else?
I think I'm
No,
spent.
we're done. All right. Ding, ding, ding. There you go. That's 15 rounds of talk about Rocky 11 or 2 or whatever the hell. Yeah. So yeah, look, overall, I don't think any of us really thought it was anywhere near as good as the first one.
No,
But
I'm not saying it's a bad film. Like
yeah, yeah.
I didn't hate sitting through it, so I'm
Mm,
not as down on it as you are for sure. But
yeah.
yeah, definitely compared to the first, it's a big step
Yeah.
down.
Mm. The more I talk
So
about it, the more I think it's leaning almost towards a bad film, but it's not quite there. Like it's still
Oh,
standing
really?
there with its gloves up, like, yeah. So
yeah,
Okay.
like the film
yeah.
itself has taken a pummeling from Dan in this episode.
It
Yeah.
has. It has.
Yeah.
Yep. I have smashed its face in.
So wait,
Um
Dan, you're at like are you a 2 out of 5 on this now?
I'm two, yeah. I mean, like last night I thought, well, it was average. It wasn't bad, it wasn't great. But the more that I think about it, like, yeah, the script really was quite poorly written.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a two is a fair assessment for my opinion of it.
Okay. So Frankie,
Yeah.
where are you sitting with it?
I thought I was going to change my rating, but I thought I had rated it lower the first time from what I remembered saying about it. But I actually gave it 3 stars last time, so I think I'm just going to stick with that.
Mm.
Yeah. I think my
What about
first
you,
viewing I
Liam?
gave it
Because you're
four.
at 3.5, which is like
Yeah, that was from my first viewing, and that feels
in
high.
2016,
Yeah, well, a while ago. I
9
think
years
I'm
ago.
down to like a 3 at this point.
Hmm.
Like those last 30 minutes for me are probably like nearly a 4, I would say.
Mm.
Hmm.
But it's an hour and a half to get there, and that
Yeah.
hour and a half is a lot of
Yeah, wasn't it
travel.
a great moment when he gets out in front of his house in the tracksuit and the music starts? And that's kind of like
Yeah,
that, here we go, and that whole run. I know you didn't like the kids, Dan, but that whole running through the streets and up the steps, like,
But
you know,
again, we
you
saw
gotta
that
love
in the
that.
first movie.
I
No, but
know, but
we,
that's
so,
that I don't
no.
understand sometimes, not just you, but people in general,
Mm,
that dislike anything that's been done before. It's like Final Destination, you were really down on the films because it's the same thing, but then the
mm,
general, like, I've heard other people say, you know what you're getting, it's just a fun ride. And this, like,
mm.
yeah, it was in the first film, but it was such a cool scene. I was like really happy to have that happen again, slightly
Yeah,
differently.
fair enough. Yeah, yeah, no, that's good. I wish that I shared your enthusiasm for that. All right. Well, in that case, we are out of here. So, yes, thank you very much for watching or listening or whatever you did. If you like, got an AI transcript and just read this episode, which would be a novel way to do it. Yeah, thank you for whatever you did. So, yeah, and stay tuned for Rocky 3, where there will be select readings from Mr. T's Be Somebody or Be Somebody's Fool, and I am so goddamn excited about that already. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about the film. I'm just going to be like, you guys talk about the film, and then I will read a passage, and then, we'll keep going back and forth to it. So yeah, it's going to be the best time we've ever had on this show. Liam, thank you so much for joining us, and yeah, we will definitely have you back again soon.
Yeah, be
thank you for
back
having me. Yeah,
next month for Rocky 3.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to the select readings.
Oh
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
Yeah. I will actually do some homework. I will actually go through and find the best bits as well because yeah, when I say the book is amazing, of course it's like, that kind of Deadly Prey level of amazing where it's just the worst
I
fucking book
expected
ever
that.
written.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, you get it.
And you've got like a
Yeah.
month to perfect the voice as well.
Eh. Yeah, I'm not going to try and do a Mr. T impression right now.
But you've got a
Beautiful.
month.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
don't know. Yeah, okay, no, that's it can't be that difficult. You just put on a raspy, angry voice, don't you? And oh, no, wait, that's bongo. That's right. Anyway, all right, we're out of here. Stay safe, watch lots of Rocky movies, and bye for now.